And President Trump is welcoming Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud to the White House ahead of an investment summit in Washington. The visit comes as Trump has sought to deepen ties with the country and broker broader peace in the Middle East. Scripps News White House correspondent Haley Bull live for us now outside of the White House. And Haley, what are we expecting from this visit today?
Well, Holly, it's a high-stakes visit, and we are waiting right now for the Crown Prince to arrive to the White House for this significant meeting with President Donald Trump. And as you mentioned, it comes as President Trump is seeking to expand the Abraham Accords, but also strengthen both economic and defense ties with Saudi Arabia, as we have seen China look to do the same. Now, the leaders are expected to unveil deals spanning the technology and defense sectors. Specifically, we are told from a senior administration official, this will include a multi-billion-dollar investment in infrastructure for artificial intelligence, cooperation on civil nuclear energy, defense sales, and further advancement of a $600 billion investment commitment into the United States that Saudi Arabia made back in May during President Trump's trip there. And now you can see on your screen, this is a trip filled with a lot of pomp and circumstance as we wait for the Crown Prince to arrive. But notably, ahead of this visit, Holly, President Trump confirmed that he does intend to sell to the Saudis F-35s. This would mark a significant advancement in defense cooperation after there have typically been concerns over Chinese access to sensitive technology that could come with the provision of the F-35s. The president saying this of the sale just yesterday.
Yeah, no, I am planning on doing that. Yeah. They want to buy. They've been a great ally. They've got to like us very much. Look at the Iran situation, what we did in terms of obliterating, we obliterated their nuclear capability. Yeah, I will say that we will be doing that. We'll be selling F-35s. Yeah.
And Holly, not only those comments, but the images and this visit represent a significant public signal that the president is making about the country's relationship with Saudi Arabia. Notably, the Crown Prince was his first foreign leader's call during his second term. The kingdom, his first foreign visit during this term. And this visit, while an official working visit, represents the images that you see with a state visit, filled with the pomp and circumstance that you see on your screen. With an arrival ceremony and a dinner later this evening, which a source familiar tells us will be attended by CEOs of defense and technology companies. Now, regional experts we have spoken with believe that the administration is concerned over China's ties in the region. One former official explaining to us that Trump is looking to show that the relationship is at a new height under his administration and contrast that with the previous Biden administration. But notably, this visit also marks the Crown Prince's first visit back to the White House since 2018 and since the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, which the prince has denied, but the U.S. intelligence community concluded that he likely ordered the operation.
And Haley, I want to go back to the Abraham Accords. So how will the Abraham Accords actually factor into this particular visit?
The president has been very clear. Expanding those normalized ties between countries in the Middle East and Israel is one of his goals, and that he would like to see Saudi Arabia as a part of that. He told reporters just last week he hopes they would join it shortly and suggested he expects it to be part of the discussion. Now, the Biden administration had cited the Saudis nearing normalized relations with Israel as one of the reasons that Hamas launched its October 7th attack against Israel. Now, the Trump administration today, though, with this visit, is fresh off of backing from the United Nations Security Council of its Gaza peace plan, which next calls for an international stabilization force, a board of peace led by President Trump to oversee governance of that area, as well as disarming Hamas, and acknowledges a potential path to a two-state solution. But one of the questions, Holly, with this is not only whether Saudi Arabia would participate in those security security forces, what level they would participate, but also how quickly they would, if and they would seek to return to normalized relations with Israel, Holly. So certainly a lot of questions at play, a lot at stake for the Trump administration as they seek this, and for the Saudis as they're looking for defense backing from the U.S.
And we will watch closely. Scripps News White House correspondent Haley Bull live for us. Thank you, Haley.